Welcome to the another demonstration of the atom calibration framework. We are addressing the second stage of the calibration procedure, which is the setting of the initial estimates for the sensor poses. So the ultimate goal of a calibration is, of course, to find the poses of these sensors, but since this is implemented as an optimization procedure, the initial value of these poses is determinant to the performance of the calibration. Therefore, we can use the help or the assistance of a user that knows the system, so that he or she may provide a good first guess for these sensor poses. There are many, so this is the how we can do that. We just launch a visualization in RVs, and if the user knows the system, he can use multiple hints to try to put the sensors in the proper place. For example, I know that this is my hand camera, and therefore that it should be close to the robot. Let me hide the transformations. So what I will do is I will push it closer to the robot. Okay, so let's say it's more or less there, perhaps a bit higher. Well, this is a more or less pose. It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be more or less plausible. Another kind of estimate that we may use is the estimate of how well the data from the LiDAR is aligning with the bodies that we know are in the scene, in particular this table and also the robot. I can just change the color of this axis color. Okay, it should be okay. Perhaps if I move it, it will show with different colors. So I can I know that the LiDAR is more or less on top, on the left hand side of that bar there, so I will just put it there. And so I also know that this are data points or measurements from the table, so perhaps the LiDAR should rotate, okay, something like this. And I think this is more or less accurate. Of course, this is not easy to do, but we don't intend this to be perfect. Okay, so let's say that the LiDAR is already in a good position now, and all we need to do is this second camera, which we know that should be on the right hand side of the plate, but we are going to do it using a different hint, so we can actually visualize these images from the cameras. Okay, so these have been recorded also in the back file, so we can visualize them. But more interesting than this is to visualize these images along with the projection of what the scene has right now. So what we are doing here is projecting. We are using the RV's camera tool in order to project the LiDAR points onto the cameras. So right now we are interested not in the hand camera, just in the world camera. You can actually see that the hand camera is more or less accurate. So these points are not completely off. So if I, for example, change a little bit the camera or the LiDAR, that could be a bit better or worse. But let's focus on the other camera. So let's put it more or less facing. Oops, I think I just changed. Okay. Let's put it more or less here. And I think it, okay, like this, more or less. And now for this camera, it's pointing upwards. You can see there from the red axis. So we should make it point downward. Oh, and there you see the data points from the LiDAR, and we just move it until it aligns more or less correctly. Okay, so that is actually a very good alignment between the camera and the LiDAR. So this is actually, I think, I would say, a very good first guess. And once we are happy with the result, we just use this marker here to save the sensor's configuration. Okay, we can actually do this again, so we can start again this initial estimate script, and we can improve what we've done before by changing a little bit this or that sensor. And this is the functionality for the sensor for setting the initial sensor poses. Thank you.